I'll make a video. This is my Rainbird 205G fast reverse rain gun. This is a 4-inch rain gun. This has a 1.15-inch taper nozzle, or what they call a power nozzle. This is a fast reverse model. I got this at the TL dealer probably about a year ago or so. It does have the stops, as you can see. Rainbird stops are actually different than Nelson's. These are ramp style. Basically, it pulls it down to engage reverse, and then pushes it back up to disengage. This is the one that has the reverse deflector on the top of the gun. I think Rainbird, for all their fast reverse, use that style. I tried to run this on my 2 pumps, but it did not move. The stream coming out was not enough to make the arm move, so it kind of moved, but the sprinkler didn't have enough force to actually move on its own. I have a video on my channel of one of these actually irrigating a cornfield. It's actually pretty impressive. It gets pretty far out. The nozzle right here, I'm looking for a 205G. I'm looking for a ring nozzle assembly so I can try that washer trick. That I tried on my P200. It didn't actually work, so I'm gonna, if I could find a ring nozzle assembly for this, I'm gonna try that same thing with this to see if it'll actually move. You know, it's got the kind of the same brake assembly. I'm kind of looks like I'm missing a part there. There's a little like piece of metal that holds that spring in place, but yeah, it has this little connection here, and then this is for a spreader. I think this actually angles and comes out, and then has a little nozzle that helps get close-in coverage. Basically, it's the same as a Nelson. You know, this arm moves up and down from the stream. It hits that spoon, which directs it to the left, and then it moves it forward. And then once this catches on the stop, it'll pull this into the stream here. That'll get, once that's enough, that stream will pull that in. That'll reverse it to put it to the right, direct that to the right, and create energy, which reverses it back, and it trips on this, which pushes, pulls the deflector out, and the gun will start going forward again. This also has some adjustments on it for low pressure. Low or high pressure, you can adjust the deflector, adjust your drive spoon, and then the counterweight adjustment. For high or low pressure, you can adjust on how much the counterweight moves. This gun also, on a bunch of different points in the gun, here, I think even like around in here on the base somewhere, it has some oil fittings where you can use the grease gun to make sure the bearings are greased. It does turn on its own. When I got it, it was kind of hard to turn, but after turning it a while, it started moving easier. But Rainbird made these to compete with Nelson's 200 series. These do require a little bit more power than Nelson does. As far as the GPM and PSI required, it's a little bit more than Nelson, probably about 50 GPM more than Nelson does. These can take the power nozzle, which that's a power nozzle, or what they call taper bore. Rainbird calls it a power nozzle. Then it uses ring. I did try to get my ring nozzle assembly on there from a Nelson 200, but this is a lot shorter. So not only did it get away in the deflector, it wouldn't screw on because Rainbird's threads are actually different space than Nelson's, so it didn't screw on. But yeah, this pretty hefty gun. At some point, I do hope to find that ring nozzle assembly and try to get a nozzle in it. Probably a 0.9 or so, and hopefully maybe it'll actually move when I put water through it again. I have not found one since these guns aren't made anymore. They're getting really hard to find, so I'll just keep looking. I'll bet you I'll find one if I look hard enough. Rainbird makes another model of this called the 205A. There is one at the TL dealer. Instead of these ramps here being ramp style, they're actually closer to what you'd expect to see on a Nelson 200. That's the only difference I've seen with this gun, other than the reverse mechanism is different, but everything else looks the same. That one happens to have it looks like a new bearing, and it looks like the bottom end's been worked on because everything on it looks new. So yeah, it's a pretty hefty gun. I'd say it weighs about 50, 60 pounds. It's pretty heavy. So, and what I like about this is these stops have these thumb screws, so you can easily adjust them. Both of them have it, and both of them work. You don't have to use a wrench or anything to get it loose. You can adjust the stops, just the arc of the gun, or even pull them off and turn them upside down, and that would make the gun work full circle. However, Rainbird and Nelson always recommend, if you're going to run this full circle, to at least leave the disengagement stop up in case reverse were to get tripped somehow, so the gun isn't going in circles. But I'll keep you guys updated if I find a ring nozzle assembly for it. The good thing is this nozzle's easily taken off. I just got to get a wrench on it, and it comes right off. It's not tight. It's not super, like on there, so that's pretty easy to get off. Although, I did have an idea of maybe somehow securing a small ring washer from the hardware store on the front of this nozzle, but I'm not exactly sure how well that'll work. It'd have to be on there pretty good, and without, maybe I'd put some sealant on it or something, but it can't leak or else the gun's not going to work right. So I'll let you know as soon as I find the rest of the parts, and this summer, if I do, I'm definitely going to test it out. But I'm going to keep you updated. I had two of these. The other one that I had was a lot worse condition than this, and it also did not have the stops. So someone tried taking the stops off of a Nelson 100 or 150 and turning them sideways, so they'd be more ramp than the ones that actually pull in or push out, but that did not work. Also, they drilled in the base, so I just took a couple parts off of that and scrapped it, and I kept this since this one is in better shape and it's complete, has everything. So yeah, I believe the 1.15 nozzle is the smallest that this can take as far as what Rainbird makes for it. But like I said, if I get a ring nozzle assembly for it, I will be able to use a washer like I used on my P200. So I'll let you guys know. Thanks for watching.